When are the rinse December 8th? Kane unleashes fury after Phyllis's final betrayal as he declares all-out war. In the December 8th episode of The Young and the Restless, Kane reached his breaking point when Phyllis refused to admit she stole his AI software, even with the truth staring her in the face. Her denial shattered the last of his restraint and pushed him into a decision that changed the landscape around them. Kane vowed to destroy every path she hoped to take forward. His choice set off an emotional and strategic shift that touched the Abbotts, the Newmans, and every alliance tied to the brewing corporate war. Key takeaways. Kane finally realizes Phyllis will never admit her betrayal. Phyllis doubles down on her denials and her connection to Victor. Kane declares war on Phyllis and her ambitions for Jabot. More, see a peek at what happens next on YNR. What happened on YNR? Kane, Billy Flynn, spent the day grappling with consequences, both the ones he caused and the ones forced upon him. His conversation with Jack, Peter Bergman, and Diane, Susan Walters, reminded him how deeply Victor's, Eric Braden, theft of the AI had damaged Jabot and Arabesque. Still, Kane owned his mistakes and expressed regret for the fallout. Later, everything shifted when he overheard Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, meeting with Adam, Mark Grossman. After Adam left, Kane confronted her, demanding the truth he already feared. Did she steal his AI software and hand it to Victor? Phyllis insisted she did nothing wrong. That denial, calm, practiced, and absolute, hit harder than the betrayal itself. Kane realized in that moment that Phyllis would always protect herself, even if it meant destroying him. Her choice to lie, yet again, stripped away any illusion that there was still trust or partnership between them. Why it matters for Phyllis. This moment mattered because it didn't just close the door on Kane and Phyllis, it locked it. Until now, Kane had still hoped honesty could salvage something between them, whether professional or personal. Phyllis's refusal to admit the truth completely ended that hope. It also clarified Kane's purpose. He saw clearly that Phyllis believed she could outmaneuver everyone. Victor, Adam, Jack, even him. She believed she still had a path toward taking over Jabot. But that path depended entirely on secrecy and leverage. With Kane's clarity came resolve. Phyllis's future rested on a foundation built from what she stole from him, and Kane decided he would not allow her to benefit from his downfall. The fallout for Kane and Phyllis. By the time Kane walked away, his heartbreak had hardened into a mission. He vowed to sabotage every opportunity Phyllis tried to seize, especially her goal of taking control of Jabot. His promise wasn't an emotional heat of the moment. It was deliberate, focused, and fueled by the certainty that he had nothing left to lose. Phyllis, convinced she could still work every angle, failed to recognize the danger in Kane's transformation. Her alliance with Victor is already unstable. Kane's determination threatens to shatter it. A war began in this episode, not corporate, but personal, and its impact will echo across Genoa City. Even on an unseasonably warm December night, Genoa City felt frozen. Not by weather, but by tension that had been building for weeks, fermenting like a volatile chemical waiting for the smallest spark. And on December 8th, that spark ignited. Kane Ashby had been walking a tightrope between restraint and rage. Phyllis Summers, the flame-haired wild card infamous for dancing with danger, had pushed him further than anyone ever had. But even Kane, who had forgiven backstabbing, deception, and heartbreak before, never imagined she'd go this far. Her betrayal wasn't merely personal. It was nuclear. And this time, the fallout would shake Genoa City to its core. Chapter 1. The Rinse. Society's windows trembled in the wind as Kane stood in the back hallway, fists clenched, chest rising and falling sharply. He'd just finished listening to Phyllis's confession, one she tried to camouflage with charm and half-smiles. But Kane wasn't in the mood for theatrics. "You sold me out," Kane said quietly, dangerously. "You threw my entire company under the bus. You leaked proprietary data to Chancellor Winters, and then you tried to blame it on a cyber glitch you claimed you were helping fix." Phyllis lifted her chin, refusing to let him have the satisfaction of seeing guilt. "It wasn't personal," she said, though her voice trembled almost imperceptibly. "You were moving in on a project you didn't understand. I stepped in to protect what actually matters. What matters? Cain echoed stunned. My company mattered. My reputation mattered. The people who trusted you mattered. She folded her arms. Sometimes you have to rinse out the old to make room for the new. The rinse. The phrase echoed in Cain's mind like a sinister mantra. So that's what this is? A rinse. He laughed bitterly. You wiped out years of work, burned my alliances, and cost me everything, and you're calling it a rinse? It was necessary, Phyllis snapped, her mask slipping, revealing the raw desperation beneath. You're too rigid, Cain. Too predictable. You would have ruined the partnership. I did what you couldn't. You stabbed me in the back and called it strategy. This time she didn't answer. And that told him everything. Chapter 2. The Breaking Point. The hallway was so quiet Cain could hear the click-click of Phyllis's nervous nails tapping her own arm. For a moment he saw something human there. Something that almost reminded him of why he trusted her in the first place. Almost. Then he remembered what she had cost him. I went to bat for you, Cain said, voice thick. When no one else believed you changed. I defended you. I gave you access. And you used it to blow my entire operation wide open. Her eyes flickered, maybe, or annoyance, or fear. It wasn't supposed to go this far, she admitted softly. But it did. Yes. And now you want me to understand? I want you to understand the big picture. Cain stepped forward, his voice low and lethal. The only picture I see is you lighting the match and handing me the ashes. Phyllis swallowed. Cain didn't yell. He didn't need to. His fury was cold, controlled, and far more dangerous that way. You made your choice, he said. Now I'm making mine. Phyllis backed up slightly, but Cain didn't approach. He merely delivered the sentence that changed everything. I'm declaring war. Chapter 3. Genoa City reacts. By morning, word had already begun to spread.